Hello, guys, and welcome back. Today, we are going to upload a Rails application on this cool Elastic Beanstalk, and we will be making it HTTPS by adding a domain from Godaddy. So, we will be doing this way. Okay, so let's get started. So, first of all, we will be creating a Rails app. Okay, so what should I do? Rails new. What should we name that? We will name that uh, test deploy. Okay, and we will be making it an API app so that we are not going to waste time in making the views and anything. So, and we will be using database as Postgres SQL. Waiting it to get done. Hopefully, it will get. Oh, dun, 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 dun. Okay, so let's move into that. What I named that. Cool. Okay, so this is done, and what we will be doing is we will be making a scaffold, and we will make it like book title. We will give it to it, and we will get to content. It will be of type text, and title will be of type string. Everybody knows that. And we also need to create database. We haven't created it, and we need to migrate. Okay, so cool. Now what we did. Okay, just we have a resources routes. It's cool. Let's just make it. Let's just commit it. Uh, Add it a book scaffold. Okay, so let us just make a book so far so that we can see the thing. Oh, I did create first because I want to know what I did earlier. Because what attributes I have, attributes I need to provide it. So we'll create title category first book, and the second will be this is my first book. Okay, cool. So let's test this thing by doing a Rails server. Okay, cool. So we are going to test by books. Oh, yeah, we got it. So we got our Rails API app working. Now let us deploy it on Elastic Beanstalk. So how do you deploy it? So we will be using the CLI provided by Amazon for the Elastic Beanstalk, and it is very cool CLI, and it is just a one line command thing by which you can install that. And that is pretty easy. If you want, you can go to the link I provided in the description below. Okay, so let's get started. Uh, First of all, similarly like Git, we need to do eb init. This is Elastic Beanstalk init. While we initialize this app, it will be going to ask us several questions. We will be giving that answers in the terminal itself. So let's do that. Like we do Git init and any repositories like eb init, it will create a folder dot elastic beanstalk, and this will ask for something. So for me it will be 6 because the time I'm shooting this video I am in India, so Asia Pacific Mumbai will be the closest to me. And the application name, I don't want a to do. Yes, default test deploy application name seems to be good to me. And application created, it's appear that you are using Ruby. It automatically detected, so you just say yes. Select the application version. We will be using Ruby 2.4 Puma. Uh, we are using GitHub, so Git. So we don't need to use code commit, and default is also in. Do you want to use SSH, the SSH for your instance? So yes, we want to use SSH for our instance, and SSH instance. So I will be using S1. I have already created a key. So if you want, you can create a new key by choosing the option 5. So I will be using my old key, AWSEP, and boom, we have initialized the things. Now if you see, it has added this thing. Okay, just let me show you in the code. So what this init does, it actually does a very cool thing. Okay, so you can see that it initializes a folder .elastic-beanstalk, and we have a configuration file over there in which all those things which we put it in the command terminal are here. Okay, so and it added that Elastic Beanstalk in things in your get-ignore file so that it won't add that. Get add, get commit, and give it a clear message. Added Elastic-Beanstalk clear. Okay, cool. So what we're doing? Okay, so we have created an application. You can see that on the Elastic Beanstalk. And by the way, I should mention that one thing. I'm already logged in my for my EB Elastic Beanstalk CLI. If you are using it for the very first time, after the after the region name, it will ask for the credentials, that API, AWS secret key, and AWS your access ID and secret access key. So you can easily get that from your security credentials. Obviously, I can't demo that. I don't want a risk to show that. So you can easily get that from there, and I will be preferring you to create an IAM user. Sorry, IAM user, and then use that credential, not your root. But if you use your root credential also, then it will also work. But obviously, it is not good by the security reasons. Okay, so let us now do that. Oh, but what should we do now? Okay, so we need to create. Okay, so in what happens in the any Elastic Beanstalk, that this init just only create the application, not the environments. You need to create the environment by yourself. So what we'll be doing in this video for the tutorial base, we will be creating just the testing environment, and the production environment you can create similarly. So we'll do create testing, or you can name it as production, doesn't matter, production or testing, anything. So okay, so let us do by production. Ev create production. Okay, so let's do that. So what happens right in here is it will be doing all the things for you. It will be creating an EC2 instance. It will be creating a load balancer. It will be creating a Amazon S3 bucket. There it stores some configuration files and all those things. All these things it will. And yeah, I forgot one thing. We need to do one thing before we do this. So I'll cancel out it here. Actually, what happens, we will need to configure our nginx, our web server, our Puma file for the nginx thing. So there's a small thing, because I ran into this error before, so I know that this will be asked. So go into your Puma file, and I will provide this small snippet code to you. You don't need to worry about that. Okay. So, yep, this little thing. I will be giving you this code. This code you will be available in the comment section or in the information section of this video. Now we will upload by this, so that it will not give us the binding Unix error, that this is the error it gives if it's running in production only test environment mode. And also, if you are going to use that RDS thing, and we will absolutely using that RDS things, so we need to obviously updates our database.yml file, and we will be doing it later. Okay, so cool till now. and we need to terminate. We need to terminate the production environment because it is wrong. Okay, so what we will do, we will create another environment and we will be using that. Oh, before that, we should add that thing what we did in the Puma file. Added ng nx, added nginx, error fixing code with Puma.rb. Cool. Now just do it. Create testing, and hopefully we don't get that error again. Okay, so it can't do anything until it is doing one thing. This is the thing, and it will complete doing these things. Then we can give any instruction to it. Okay, so this is a rest time mode, and I will cancel. I will cut out this mode so that you don't waste time in doing this thing until it is doing this thing. Come on, man, do it fast. Uh, this is the problem with. No, it's not the problem, but this is the thing. This is a problem while screencasting this thing because it takes time. It just takes time. And it is obvious it has to do multiple things. You can see that it has created a security group, a load balancer, uh, Amazon S3 storage, and setting up the environments thing. So it does a lot of things. So it is obvious that this is going to take a lot of time. Okay, so degraded because we did very bad things to him. So let us first terminate the production environment. So it's going to do again those things. It will remove load balancers, remove EC2 instance, remove S3 storage, and all those things it will do. Okay. What should we do? Should we listen to a music? Go grab your coffee or something. Coffee and or anything you want to do until it is finishing. If you ask me, I will say that go and watch Marvel Runways if you like that, or any Marvel movie, small fights, anything, whatever you want, because this is going to take time. When I got stuck into this, it takes me 2.5 days to figure out, not to figure out how to upload the thing, to figure out how to make it HTTPS. So I think that this will be a good thing. But when I figured it out, that was damn easy to make it from HTTP to HTTPS. I was doing very stupid things. I was just another level of stupidity. Now I know it seems to be very pretty easy. Okay. Okay, so it's doing. Just go, man. Just finish yourself. Come on. You don't have all the time in the world. Okay, this is going. It is deleted auto scaling, deleted load balancer name, deleted security code name, and we can't do multiple things at a time on this Elastic Beanstalk. If you give a command, you have to wait until it is finished to do the next thing. And this whole process is a time-taking process: uploading things, making environment changes, adding a domain, verifying it, uploading a SSL certificate. When also we will be using that Amazon certificate manager, that will also took 1 minute, 1 or 2 minute time to verify the domain name and give us an SSL certificate for that domain name. So, and even after attaching everything, you need to wait for approx 1 2 hour to for your domain to run up, because it will not be an immediate thing. Okay, so it's terminated. Cool. So now we can, I think, create again production, and this time we will not cancel it out. Okay, so create our production environment. Oh, it is say that it is safe to control C, but I prefer not to do that. See the infos coming over here, and you will get to know what it is doing. It's using Elastic-Beanstalk AP South one thing, Amazon S3 bucket for the environments data, everything, all that. And we will be checking our logs after this thing. This is done. So sorry, to verify that everything is up and running smoothly. And oops, we should also do one thing. Okay, that we will do later on. Now to check the things, we need to go on the slash books now. I just want to add a root so that starts from the slash books URL. So far so good, only info, and I think it is all green, no errors. But this will still not work when it is uploaded. We need to give that secret key base to its production environment thing. I don't know how where you can find that. I tell you. Close your program. So database. Um, you will be uploading this thing because if you are using RDS, and I prefer using RDS with the Amazon because it will be best for your financial needs and scaling up, scaling down thing. Okay, so go into that. Okay, so in the secrets.yml, so this here this environment thing we need to provide it for it to run at the production. So this we will be providing through the CLI. Okay, go, go, just complete fast. Once it is completed, then we will be doing other things. and execution completed on all instance. Summary successful 0, failure 1. Okay, so it's fails. Truncated. Okay, so it fails. So let us see how it fails. It never gets. I'm not able to deploy it at the very first shot till now. Let's see where the problem is. Okay, then allow EV logs. Okay, so we are not getting that ng error. Uh, it will be some environment variable issue, most probably. And I suppose yes. So let us get that. Okay, what happened? Okay, so let us do it on here. EV, how do we set environment variables? It's EV set environment variable and the name of the environment variable and then the value. Okay, so how do we create a secret keybase? By the command rake secret. This will set that. Hopefully this will clear our errors. Waiting, waiting, waiting. You can go and grab another cup of coffee, or you can continue watching that Marvel movie, what you left earlier, where you left earlier. Okay, successfully deployed new configuration. So it is saying that it's green. What if you open our environment and if we go to books and it doesn't work? EV logs and we'll see what the error is. And we got error and we got that upstream error. Okay, so let us first configure our database. Then we will revert back to these things. So if you go into the configuration at the very bottom, you can create a RDS and at the DB engine use PostgreSQL. Choose any username and password you want. Hit it on apply. And if it's got apply, you just come over here and just go into that database.yml thing. Database.yml config thing, and you just copy all these things because we will be using that at the production. We will be using RDS, so the database name and everything will come from here, not at secret.yml. Should be at database.yml. Mm, that's fine. So database.yml. So let us push it. Added environment variables. Add environment variables for production database. Okay. Now how we deploy again? db deploy. And if you have multiple environments, you can name the environment. We have one. Still, I'm going to mention the name. If you don't mention the name, okay, so it is doing something. Okay, so environment in production is an invalid state for this operation. It must be ready. Okay, so it is okay. Okay, so because it is not ready, it is doing this thing, so it is taking time. So once it is finished, we can deploy. Get ready. I know this is taking too much time, but it is always this. So it will take time. It is a thing like that which takes time. Okay, finish up, finish up, finish up. Come on, man, do it fast. Okay, this is taking too much time. Okay, so it is creating database. That's why it is taking too long. This may take few minutes. Okay, cool. We will wait for few minutes. You can. So I will see you where we'll be going to add. So right now at the load balancing side, it is HTTP on port 80, and our secure port is off. And we are going to turn it on in the corresponding security groups. We are going to allow our HTTPS, and we will going to add an HTTPS on listener. That those things we will do once it will give us the thing, the right code, the right output on HTTP request. So once that is done, then we'll do that. Okay. Okay, so it is done. Created the RDS database. Okay. Okay, so it's done creating the RDS database, and we have added the configuration. Okay, if you want to see, you can go into the and yes, you can see that we have the environment variable set as this. Those environment variables will be provided by RDS, so don't worry about it. We don't need to set that; those are already getting set by the values we put it by creating the RDS. So we deploy production. Okay, so it started it. Environment upgraded successfully. I love this message. Literally telling because it comes after doing multiple things. And yep, this is the output I was waiting for. If now we go at books, we will see, yeah, we got it, bro. At empty JSON, you can see. Now we will SSH into our instance and we'll make a record and we'll see the output. So for doing that connectivity to your corresponding EC2 instance, which is connected to your this bean stack, you can do just EBSSH. That's all, and it will connect you to the corresponding instance. Okay, I need to provide my password, and we are there. And but you wonder where's your app? And your app is situated in var slash app slash current. Now here, if you do ls, you can see your Rails app. So here you can do that Rails console thing. Rails console thing. If you do this, if so, what was that? Book dot create. If you give title, title as a first book, and your content is this is my first book. I know, it's not so creative, and even not so cool, but just a demo thing. Okay, so we're done with this. Now if you refresh this, boom, here's our data. So done. We are done with uploading our Rails application to Elastic Beanstalk. This will be terminated. You will log out, log in. It will take just I don't know, approx an hour or half an hour, and it will disappear. So this is our a green production card. How beautiful this is. Now we will going to add that certificate and making it HTTP. You can see that this is HTTP and we want to connect it. Oh, okay, why it is showing that this page should not be found? Because at the root we haven't provided anything. If you want to fix this thing, what if you want? Let's fix this thing. So okay, come into the routes file, just add the thing. Root will match to books and index. Okay, now if we do a thing like Rails server, and if we just go to localhost 300, we'll see that thing. Okay, so no need to do that. So we did it. So if you want to check, we just added that root thing. So get add all and get committed by a message that mm, root route added. Cool, and let us deploy this thing on a production environment where we don't need to route on slash books to get our result, and we'll get the result on the very first page. Ah, until then, what we can do is, till then, what we can do is we can generate the certificate. Go into the certificate manager, and I'm at Tonic Sharma, and these are the certificates I used previously. To just what certificate we are going to use? We are going to use this certificate. Oh, this is already in the pending state. Can I delete it? Oh yeah, I can delete it. Yep, delete it. Okay, so I'll tell you how we can get a certificate. Okay, so request a certificate on the domain name. Enter the domain name you want. You want yogo.in. This is the domain name. I bought it from the Godaddy. You can buy it anywhere you want. Yogo.in. Make sure it is correct. Yogo.in and hand, and very important, whatsoever you type here, the certificate will be generated for specifically that domain only. So if you want that, I want that the production which I that production environment which I created on my Elastic Beanstalk will be available on api.yogo.in, and obviously not on yoga.in. So what I will do is I will add api.yoga.in and not .yoga.in and nothing else. I just want the certificate for only this thing. Go to the next, go to the DNS validations. If this is fine, it will be provided you a CNAME thing. So we will be adding this there. Okay, so at this point, it will give you a CNAME type record. You need to add the CNAME type record to your GoDaddy to verify. So you can see that it is for api.yogo.in. But as this is the subdomain of yoga.in, so to verify, it will verify your yoga.in, but it will verify your yoga.in, but it will be available on api.yoga.in. Else you will be get an HTTPS error that this HTTPS is not secure and all that things. Add this here and copy this and add this here and save it. Okay, so it does say that an unexpected error occurs and all those things, but if you refresh this thing, so you can see that it added this. Okay, so this has been added. This will help the AWS certificate manager to verify our domain, and this usually takes just 1 hour or 1 hour. I'm saying 1 minute or 2 minutes. So it is a pretty fast thing. Then this API.yoga.in will be verified, and until then, we also need to create it. So what we will do is we will add a CNAME record. We will map it to API. This is what? This is the subdomain. This is a subdomain which we want from this yoga.in. So the subdomain is API, and it will be pointing to, yeah, our Elastic Beanstalk environments. Oh, I already opened it away. So let us have a look at that. It will be pointing to this. So it will be pointing to this elasticbeanstalk.com. Remove that HTTP from, so CNAME API, and it will be pointing to this. So we created this thing. So refresh it. Okay, so now we have our one subdomain, which is API, which is pointing to our Elastic Beanstalk URL, and another CNAME record to verify for AWS certificate to verify our domain and give us that certificate. So let us go right into certificate manager and see if it has issued or not. So it is in the pending validation stage. Okay, just do it fast, bro. Okay, so this HTTP is working, but HTTPS is not working now. That's cool. We are going to fix that. API. So what we will going to do that we will be doing this thing API dot yoga.in. Okay, so you can see that okay, it is already working. If I type api.yoga.in, it is actually giving me the results similar to this production and blah 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 API software and elasticbeanstalk.com. This result and this result is same because we mapped our subdomain, which is api.yoga.in, to this. But if you want to match actually this domain, just create an add thing and add a CNAME and add the host. Just write at the rate and here give the URL. In that case, it will be pointing to yoga.in. But I don't want that. I wanted to map it to API because yoga.in I can use that for my client side, and api.yoga.in I can use for my backend. So it started pointing it. So currently, if you do HTTPS on it, it will give us error. Come on, bro, give us error. It will give us error. Obviously, we want that. Come on, delete. Okay, so it is still pending validation. I don't know why it is taking time now. It always happens. When you're doing alone things works fine. When you are screencasting the things just goes wrong. And I don't think we will be needing any other thing from here. We will need to do any other thing, and I can also close that localhost and again a localhost. Okay, so until it is doing these things, we can go to our Elastic Beanstalk thing, and we can go into the production, and we can go into the configuration. We can go into the load balancing, and you know what we can do? We can make it. available on. Oh, so it is not, it hasn't been verified yet, but it shows that we can choose it. So choose at api.yoga.in and apply your certificate. Okay, applying your certificate. Oh, it is not done yet. Don't worry. If you go onto the dashboard, you starts again. Elastic-Beanstalk is updating your environment. Cool. Keep doing that. Okay, so please note that we provided a certificate for api.yogo.in and not for this URL. This URL will not be available by for HTTPS. It will only be for HTTP. But api.yogo.in will be converted from HTTP to HTTPS. So you can listen at both the domains, at both the ports on HTTP and HTTPS, but it is important to have HTTPS. Okay, so once it is done, we will go into. Okay, so it is not, this site can't be reached. HTTPS can't be reached because we haven't given the certificate. Connection refused error. Okay, so if we go to the EC2, remember the two running instance. Remember, this production is terminated. This is the earlier which we created. So this production is with the name of our environment. This production instance is the same as that of the which Elastic Beanstalk created for us. This is that instance. So if you go into the load balancer, you will be having two load balancer. Cool. Because I have two applications. So you can check which instance it is not my, it is not the load balancer which we are interested in. We are interested in that production load balancer because that is what is associated with our app. So this is the load balancer. So what we need to do is we need to add a listener over here, and in the description we also need to upgrade the security group. So two things you need to do: add a listener to the load balancer, update the security group. Go into the listeners, edit it, add it, choose on the protocol, secure the HTTP protocol, and remember, on this video, we are securing the client to load balancer communication and not the from load balancer to EC2 instance. If you want to do that, you can also do that. For that, I will provide another video, but on this video, we are focusing on client to load balancer, securing that connection. So from client to load balancer, it will be HTTPS, and load balancer will listen it to port HT443, and it will send the request to the instance at port 80 by HTTP. So it's cool for us. If you go to the certificate, change it, and it also said you can upload that certificate to by IAM, but it recommends for ACM. So if you go here, you go into api.yoga.in and you click on the save button. I'm going to change and keep it by the default thing, by the HTTPS. Remember to provide just a certificate. Without it, it won't work. And boom, it created our port. Okay, so we have our port. So we have our HTTPS port. This was that listener. Okay, so we have our HTTPS port and HTTPS port. Okay, cool. Okay, so go into the description. I did a 443 port forwarding to A port. Cool. Now go into the security group, corresponding security group. In the security group for production, go into the inbounds and add another role for HTTPS and map it to anywhere. You can do it to custom and provide a specific IP address, but now I'm going to map it to anywhere. and on the outbound also I'm going to add HTTPS anywhere. This is for security group on Beanstalk environment. Add HTTP here also, HTTPS anywhere. Say outbound result traffic all for. Okay, cool. So I think we are done over this side. If you go back to the Elastic-Beanstalk environment, it is green, and if you check our certificate manager, did it issue that thing? Oh yeah, it issued the thing. So it issued that thing also. Elastic-Beanstalk. Okay. So now if we try HTTPS, okay, API dot yogo dot in, and it works. This is the thing I want to show you. Now it is done. It is giving us HTTPS on api.yogo.in. And remember one thing which I want to share with you, that if you go in this and if you go here, this will still not work on HTTPS. Why? Because you can see that certificate common name invalid, because the certificate name the certificate name which we gave. One man, just open the error. Okay, so this is our certificate. This is the PEM code chain. The name mentioned here, the certificate, is for api.yogo.in and not for this subdomain of Elastic Beanstalk. That's why it is saying, okay, you want this to be HTTPS, but the certificate you're giving to me has a different name. So only this thing has made HTTPS. Now you can use this to at your client side to consume your data. Or if you just have a monolithic app, you are good to go. So this was it for this video. Thank you guys, thank you so much for watching this. I know it takes us too long, error comes in between, and it takes time for me to solve all those things, but thank you for your patience. If you watch this complete video, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. That keeps me motivated to keep uploading quality videos or the stuffs which I find it difficult anywhere on the web. So this is my promise that yes, you will get. I obviously got it work by going on the multiple websites, on multiple blogs, multiple tech blogs, forums, and different things. So this is the one-stop solution for anybody who is stuck at this problem. So once again, welcome at my channel where I stuck, and thank you so much for watching this. Goodbye. See you next time. Bye bye.